champ is here. Switch gears with keeping haters in the rear. At the blood, sweat, and tears, and my goal so near. I see my victory so clear. I see my victory so clear.
Anyone for tea?
In the very first game, but they've hit a bit of a bump in the road over the last 3 or 4 games. 3 defeats and an abandonment in their last 4 matches, so they need an upturn in form from here on in if they are to get inside those top 4 places in the North Group. Durham are the visitors today. Durham currently occupy the 4th and final qualifying place for the quarterfinals at the moment, but still of course plenty of cricket to go. Durham played 7, won 4, lost 2. They've got 9 points so far, and Worcestershire down in 7th place, 6 points from their 7 games with those 2 wins and those 3 defeats. So a big night tonight for the Rapids, certainly to get back on track. I'm Dan Wheeler. My co-commentator tonight is Sally Bentley-Reid. Evening to you, Sal.
Evening, Dan.
And you've got the teams and the toss news.
I have, Dan, thanks. The toss took place about 15 minutes ago, with Durham winning it and deciding to bat this evening at New Road. The teams lining up for today's match are, for the Worcestershire Rapids, number 15 Brett D'Oliveira, number 99 Ricky Vessels, number 2 Jake Libby, number 44 Ross Whiteley, the Rapids captain and wicketkeeper this evening, number 10 Ben Cox, number 30 Ed Barnard, number 7 Ben Dorcius, number 18 Ish Sodhi, number 31 Charlie Morris, number 22 Dylan Pennington, and the one change this evening, number 27 Darryl Mitchell comes in for Tom Fell. The visitors, Durham, are today made up of number 5 David Beddingham, number 7 Graham Clark, number 38 Ben Stokes, number 4 Captain Cameron Bancroft, number 66 keeping wicket Ned Eckersley, number 58 Sean Dixon, number 99 Bryden Cars, number 44 Ben Rain, number 80 Liam Travaskis, number 16 Scott Borthwick, and number 35 Matthew Potts.
Thanks, Sal. Well, Durham, as I mentioned, in 4th spot at the moment. They did suffer a surprising defeat in their last game against Northamptonshire Steelbacks, who hadn't won previously in the tournament so far. But when you look at the opening pair, David Beddingham, who's the leading run scorer in the county championship this season, he's starting to translate that form into T20. Graham Clark as well, his opening partner. They usually get Durham off to a solid start. Then of course Ben Stokes at 3 needs no introduction, and they have a powerful engine room as well in the middle with their captain Cameron Bancroft and experienced wicketkeeper Ned Eckersley, and of course plenty of bowling options as well. The talented Bryden Cars, Ben Rain, Scott Borthwick of course, and providing the spin option, and Matty Potts. So it's going to be a stiff test for the Rapids tonight, whose morale understandably has taken a bit of a battering this past week with those 2 defeats on the road. But one of the positive things to come out of the campaign so far has been the improved form of their overseas signing Ben Dorcius, who had a bit of a baptism of fire, it's fair to say, on the opening night against the Nottinghamshire Outlaws. But the Australian left arm seamer has got better and better, and he spent a few moments this week talking to us about how things have been going for him at New Road.
Ben, welcome to Worcester. How have you settled into life at Worcester so far?
Yeah, thank you very much. Settling in nicely. You know, the boys have been really great, really welcoming, and been getting on really well. Played some golf in my off time, and obviously the cricket started off pretty well.
How did the opportunity arise for you to actually come and play at Worcester?
Well, I let some people know that I was interested in travelling over here and spending a bit of time in the off season here. So I think it was Giddo that got in touch with me first and asked if I would be interested, and I snapped up the opportunity. It was something I've always wanted to do. It's my first time in England. I've always wanted to come here and play a bit of cricket, so when the offer came, I was more than happy to come.
Being a left armer as well, you're adding that variety to the attack.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a nice point of difference being a left-hander. It's something different for the batters to think about and to have to sort of problem solve their way through a different angle. So it's nice that I'm left-handed. It sort of wasn't manufactured that way. It's just how I am. But it's a nice point of difference to be able to offer something a little bit different to what most right-handers do.
Were you aware that you're following a long list of famous Australians who've played for this county?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I spoke to Phil Jakes before I came over. He's our head coach at Cricket New South Wales, so I had a chat to him about Worcester first before I signed, and he said only positive things about it. So it put me in a really good mindset to come over here.
Now, it's obviously your first taste, as you say, of English conditions. How do they vary compared to the conditions back in Australia?
They're a little bit different. The pitches seem to be a little bit slower in general, and it's sort of like a different style of cricket, you could say. It's sort of go really hard up front when the ball's a bit harder and stuff like that. So it took a couple of games to adjust, but I think I'm really starting to get the conditions and to understand how to play my cricket over here.
I'm going to say, it does take a bit of adjusting too, doesn't it? Probably the length and things like that when you first play in the conditions over here.
Yeah, definitely. I think you just need to be that. For me personally, I found I need to be just a fraction fuller to what I am back home on some bouncy Aussie wickets where you can afford to bang it into the wicket a little bit more than what you can here. So the boys have been really good, and Giddo, the coach, has been really good, sort of helping me understand that and help me problem solve all that sort of stuff.
Now, you came here obviously on the back of winning the Big Bash for the second time. You were the leading wicket taker for the Sixers. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, it was brilliant. We're obviously, due to the state of the world at the moment, we're in a bit of a bio bubble, so that was a challenge in itself, and we didn't get to spend a lot of time in Sydney. We only played one game at our home ground, which was the final, so it was a challenge to be travelling around and spending some time away from home. But I think that puts you in really great stead when you do overseas stints, when you are away from home for a long period of time. It can help you get through that. So winning the Big Bash back to back was amazing, and hopefully I can help Worcester to some success.
Can you see Worcester doing well in the Blast this summer?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've started off really positively. I think we've only lost the one game, and that was against a really strong Yorkshire team. We've shown some great fight from the position we were against a strong team like Notts. To come back and scrape a point away from there was such a great effort, and I think we've definitely got the batting and the bowling lineup as well to be able to go far in this competition.
Now, I think you got selected for the Australian Tri-Series, didn't you, about 3 years ago? Against England, New Zealand. You didn't actually play, were you just part of the squad for that?
Just part of the squad, yeah.
Yeah, but does that international ambition still burn bright for you? Yeah,
definitely. It's something that I've always wanted to do since I was young, and I don't think that ambition's ever going to go away. Up until probably the final year of my career, I might dwindle away, but it's always got to be something that I think I'm going to be striving towards, and it's a great motivator to try and represent your country in the sport that you play.
I was looking through the records, and I believe you've never played red ball cricket. Is that something you would like to have a crack at as well?
Yeah, definitely. I've had a bit of an injury-plagued past, which has sort of prevented a few opportunities that I might have had, but at Cricket New South Wales we've got a really strong team, so it's tough to get in there at the best of times. But hopefully injuries all going well, and I'm fit and staying on the park. That's definitely something that I plan to pursue in the future, and hopefully get an opportunity in the not too distant future. Who
were your sort of cricketing heroes when you were growing up, Ben?
A bloke who's played here before, Glenn McGrath. He was definitely one of my heroes. He played at the local club that I play for back home. Our oval's actually named after him now. He was a great idol, and Adam Gilchrist was another one. I was more of a batter when I was a bit younger, so watching him go out there and smash away at the top of the order was always good fun.
I understand you're not a bad batsman yourself. You like to give it a crack, don't you?
Yeah, I like to clear the front leg and give it a bit of a swing. There's no point hanging around, especially in this format where you're only going to face a few balls. It's nice to get out there and try and get a few out of the middle.
So are you confident that Worcester can get through to the knockout stages in the Blast?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's absolutely no reason why we can't. We've got a great setup. and a great team that get along really well, which I think is really important. We all fight for each other on the field because we get along together so well off the field.
And just finally, how much are you looking to playing under Ben Cox, who's taken over as captain now from Mo?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I had a chat to him the other night, and it sounds like he's got a really nice cricket brain, and he thinks about the game really nicely. So, yeah, it'll be interesting for him. Obviously, a bit of a new experience for him, but you know, I think our team's in a really nice position where he can come in, steer the ship. He won't have a whole lot to do, but I think he'll have some really valuable input that can, you know, hopefully lead us to a few wins.
Good to hear from Ben Dorcius there, talking to us earlier on this week. Sal Dorcius it's got better and better as the games have gone on, hasn't he? How impressed have you been with what he's brought to the team?
Yeah, like you said, I think it's taken him a little while to settle, but you've seen that improvement from him game on game, and that's where I think he's used his T20 experience. I know he found the wickets, he'd never played in England before, found the wickets much slower than he was used to, especially the first game here, the tie against Notts Outlaws. And I think, you know, it has just been a learning experience for him, but you can see that understanding, that knowledge has come through, you know, with the games that they've played. They've played 6 games now, as you mentioned earlier. It's halfway in the competition, obviously the one abandoned game. But no, I think that's where you know the overseas signing brings their quality, and he's got that in T20 cricket.
Yeah, he's a quality performer. The stats don't lie, and it's good to see him growing into his role here at New Road. Here come the players then, with Durham winning the toss and deciding to bat first. And Sal, really, I suppose, final quick thought before we get going, after the the pleasant way to put this, the last 2 defeats on the road, that can happen in T20, can't it? I mean, things are on a knife edge, and you can have an absolute shellacking one day and then a thumping win the next, and it's tiny margins, but I guess they've got to try and write off those 2 games somehow mentally and just go again fresh.
It is, and I think it was said, you know, there weren't a lot of positives they could take from that heavy defeat at Trent Bridge, but there were a lot of positives that they could take from the game up at Headingley, and the players can take confidence from that. Probably almost feels worse because they did get very close to it, obviously having them 4 down so early in the power play. But I think it's T20 cricket, isn't it? Like you said, it can happen. You've just got to bounce back. The games come thick and fast, but really now they do need a win if they're going to push for that top 4 position and a place in the knockout stages.
Yeah, because they are 3 points behind Durham at the moment, and Durham are in 4th spot in North Group. Yorkshire Vikings lead the way from the defending champions, the Notts Outlaws, with Birmingham Bears in 3rd. We are nearly ready to go here. Jake Libby, like he did up at Headingley on Wednesday night, is going to open the bowling with his off spin. He only bowled 1 over then. Will he get more tonight? We're nearly ready to go. David Beningham is going to take the first ball, and he's away straight away. Been such a key performer in red ball cricket for Durham this season, the South African. He's a top scorer as well, 173 runs at 28 so far, and along with Graham Clark, a couple of 70 opening stands already this season, and one in the 40s as well, has given Durham a decent platform on a number of occasions. And he's found the boundary immediately with a lovely punch off the back foot, and as soon as it was through that inner circle, there was no stopping it, racing to the fence. Touch short there from Libby, and got the full beans from Clark.
You mentioned those stats for Beddingham and Clark with the both of them strike rates of over 150 as well.
It makes a big difference, doesn't it? More runs here. They might look for 2, and they run the first quickly, and indeed they come back. Ross Whiteley out in the deep. Power play, of course, for the first 6 overs. Only 2 fielders allowed outside the fielding circle. They are down at long on and deep mid wicket. And he goes big, and the first 6 of the innings. Emphatic from Clark. Brilliantly timed. And they're getting after Jake Libby early here. 13 off the over, and we still have 2 balls remaining. Ball will need a rub down. Not sure it was a clean catch taken in the stands. Been very consistent, Clark, so far. 4 double-figure scores in a row. A little edgy, but they're very good between the wickets, these 2. And they are safely home. Ben Cox behind the stumps, captaining the Rapids again tonight. There was a doubt for this match with a calf problem. Alex Milton drafted into the squad, but good news for Cox is that obviously he's shaken that off and he's fit enough. 15 off the first over from Jake Libby.
I think it would have taken quite a lot to not have Ben Cox playing this evening.
Yeah, that's true.
He's kept him out. Ben Dorshus will open up from the New Road end. Beningham just trying to push that through. Half fielded.
Well, they'll be looking for a tighter performance in the field tonight, won't they, the Rapids, because it's been a hallmark of their T20 cricket over the years. They started the season so well. They've had 1 or 2 little wobbles in their out cricket in the last few matches.
Yeah, it's something they've prided themselves on, isn't it? So I think any sort of slip under that sort of 100%, they're disappointed. You know, there have been a number of drop catches already in the games this season, this campaign for the T20. So yeah, I want to rectify that this evening.
Yeah, Dylan Pennington won't need any reminding about drop catches, will he?
No. Could have been his first 5-fer. I think he'll have mentioned it.
He might have mentioned it to Ricky, mightn't he?
You should still
once or twice
give him a mention though for his 4 wickets for no runs. Much tighter over from Dorshus. Just the 1 conceded so far.
Yeah, 4 for 31 as well. Let's not forget that from Dorshus in the first game against Yorkshire here. Second best figures ever of his T20 career.
Yeah, 91 career wickets he's got in T20 so far. Quicker ball, but pays the price for that as it goes away for leg byes. Bowling his left arm over. You want some of those catches and the strong fielding, don't you, early on to give everyone a bit of a lift. And they get the wicket. breakthrough there from Ben Dorshus, dismissing Clark. He said they needed to be on top of the game in the field, and that one's taken. Brett D'Oliveira doesn't tend to drop his catches. Took a fantastic catch in the game away at Northants. And gets rid of Graham Clark for 13, 20 for 1.
Yeah, straight at him. Clark will be disappointed with that shot, because he would have fancied he could have put it anywhere really. And D'Oliveira is not going to drop those. Catching practice for him, safely pouched. Now Ben Stokes' watch continues as he carries on his return to first team action from that finger injury that's forced him out of the England reckoning for now. But in the 2 games he's played so far, 29 and 11. So Pennington replacing Libby. The experiment lasted 1 over again. Will he be back? Cost him 15. Here's Pennington, and dismissed with some style by Beningham. Fetch that. Wasn't that short, and Beningham climbed into it. A terrific shot over the top. 24 for 1. Beningham up to 7. This is his first T20 appearance against the Rapids. Better from Pennington. Got to try and find that rhythm that he found so splendidly up at Headingley. That triple wicket maiden.
It's a fantastic over. Well, fantastic 2 overs really. To not concede a run, take 4 wickets.
We saw glimpses of that in the championship match here against Durham, where he bettered his career best twice, as many innings, finished just short of his first 10-fer. But him and Josh Tongue, when it clicks, they're different bowlers, aren't they? It can be devastating.
It's that rhythm, isn't it?
It's just finding that elusive consistency. If only we knew the answer to that, Sal.
Be millionaires.
Well, he's got away with this, but it might stop short of Morris. It does. Thick outside edge. He went big. His heart would have been pounding just a fraction there as that flew off the outside edge. Just short of Charlie Morris though. 25 for 1, Beningham up to 8. First ball for Ben Stokes. Five matches against the Rapids for Ben Stokes, 111 runs from the 3 innings that he's had, high score of 44. Won't get a run here either. That was a good finish to the over from Pennington. 25 for 1, halfway through the power play. Just 5 runs coming from that.
I should think
First over.
Stokes is rather happy to be out there in the middle rather than carrying the drinks as he was for Durham a few days ago.
The Lancashire game, he was in the dugout, wasn't he?
Obviously they'd hit with the COVID issues, so he was on 12th man duty. Dorshus is going to bowl his second over. Nicely hit away by Beningham, who certainly seems in the mood this evening, as he has in most of his T20 matches for Durham so far. 250s already, 173 runs.
Yeah, he's been a bit sticky form as well, Beningham. Norton won in his last 2 innings, only faced a combined 5 deliveries. He was out second ball against Northants a couple of nights ago. In the mood tonight though. I think if he'd have connected with that,
I think that would have gone over our heads.
that would have been somewhere in St John's.
Possibly watch out if you're playing tennis in Cripplegate Park.
Well, Johnny Bairstow put one up on top of the Graham Hick Pavilion, didn't he?
He did, and one into New Road.
He did.
Because there wasn't a thud on the roof anyway, so I can only presume it went over. Well bowled by Ben Dorcius. Full ball. Beningham can't get that one away. That's just the, like you say, there's the nature of the T20 cricket, isn't it? That you just don't know each game, so you're in great form, and then obviously Durham lost to Northants, had been without a victory so far.
Well, it's very easy, isn't it, in T20 cricket to get on a winning roll, as much as it's easy to get on a losing roll as well, because the margins are so fine. You just feel with the Rapids, everything's got to be bang on, hasn't it?
It does to come away with a result this evening. It has to all click.
Nice change of pace again from Dorcius though.
Bit of width, but made him wait. Frustrating Beningham.
Now I wonder how many balls Stokes will continue to have a look at here. He's only had a couple, to be fair to him. Yet to get off the mark. 30 for 1 Durham. Last ball of the 4th over.
He's faced 2. Bowled again by Ben Dorcius. And he's still waiting for that first run, Ben Stokes. And 30 for 1 after 4.
Yeah, 2 overs, 1 for 6 now for Ben Dorcius. Continues to justify the excitement about his arrival here at New Road. Just improves game by game. And 2 overs left of the power play. Pennington to carry on. And that's gone again. Just short. He's eyeing up that V area, David Beningham, and he's been pretty handy at finding it as well. He's already smashed one into the black sight sheeting rather than a screen. Not quite out of the middle that time. He's up to 17 from 13. Determined not to let Pennington settle here. Dorcius has a quiet word with him. What sort of response is he going to produce? A good one. A really good one.
That's well done, isn't it?
Well, one of the things he's talked about, Pennington, is about being more consistent, finding that spot that he hits time after time after time. It's just about testing the batsman as often as he can. It sounds simple. Clearly it's not easy to do that, but that's what he's worked hard on in the winter and the start of this season, to pose more of a test more often. And that swung high, that's gone all the way. Brilliant shot, almost taken by gentleman in a maroon cap that got up there, maybe a fingertip to it, or it disappeared into the bushes. But 6 to Beningham. That was a meaty blow. 23 from 15. Durham now up to 40 for 1. Just a touch short from Pennington. It's coming on nicely.
This is the same wicket as they used for the Yorkshire game.
He's picking the length so quickly, Beningham. He's savage on anything short. If it's from remotely up, he's eyeing up that open space back over the bowler's head. Trying to take as much advantage of the early overs as they can, of course. Have we found the ball yet? I don't think we have we?
No, we're going off for a spare ball. Umpire Taylor or Ranage. Hard to distinguish them from here with their caps on. I think it flicked once the attempted catch was missed. I think it went into the hedge.
Yeah, I mean that's a stump job, that is, isn't it?
You need a stump
and a bat to have a go at that.
Poke. So
incidentally, if you want to send us your thoughts tonight, please do. Hashtag Rapids is where you can find us on social media. Be good to hear from you, wherever you are. Overcast conditions here at New Road. The forecast was pretty dodgy earlier on today, but mercifully the weather has held off.
We were on forecast watch, weren't we?
Well, it looked very bad earlier.
Especially after the disappointment of last Friday's abandonment. Don't want another one.
Right, we have a new ball in hand, a newish ball anyway. So as close to 4.5 overs where as possible. We're ready to go. Oh, beautifully played again, off the back foot this time. And Oliveira's good. He's very good in that position, but even he can't cut it off. 4 more to Beningham. He's up to 27 from 16, 44 for 1. After a very good first over. Pennington's gone for 10 so far. 14 rather. That'll be a wide, should be, yep.
I think that tends to happen a little bit when you're sort of trying too hard then to strive for that ball when you've been hit for the boundaries.
Helps himself to 1. They do have a more than a passing thought about possibly coming back for 2, but Whiteley's across. It was to his wrong side, to his right, but just a single. Now then, Stokes. 3 balls yet to get off the mark. .46 for 1. Last ball of the 5th. And he's away. Wants the quick single. He's going to get it as well.
I think he was just going to run then.
Tip and run, that was, wasn't it?
No matter what, he seemed desperate to get off the mark.
End of the over then. 5 overs gone now. 47 for 1. So a tough over that for Dylan Pennington. 17 off that over.
Yep. Unfortunately.
2 overs of 22. Spoilt his figures somewhat. 47 for 1.
Charlie Morris into the attack, replacing Dorcius. Who then does the fielding. Rather mistimed that shot. Charlie Morris, who was consistent in his first 3 games for the Rapids. 2 wickets in each of the first 3 games. Just the one in the 3 after that. Just checking his field. Fantastic bit of fielding. Out at point. Ross Whiteley. Already taken 2 fantastic catches in the T20 this year.
I mean, it's a pretty impressive area there, isn't it, with D'Oliveira at point and Whiteley at sort of cover point.
Yeah,
Backward point is just in front of point, I suppose.
Yeah, just either side of the umpire, aren't they? This one hit hard. Mitchell can't do anything about that one. Smashed through the covers. Beddingham, I think, certainly fancies a score this evening. 50 up for Durham, 52 for 1.
With that boundary, Benningham's gone through 300 T20 runs for Durham as well. Looks in supreme touch so far. Well, they've set the trap there, hadn't they, the Rapids? But Beningham is not for the taking. Jake Libby had been pushed down to deep mid wicket. There's a deep backward square as well. It's refreshing to see a bowler, when they set that field, actually bowl a bumper, because so often it's a bluff, isn't it?
Double bluff. They're changing it again now. Libby back into the circle. Dorsh's down to long on in front of us. Another eyeball, but that's gone for 6. Bouncing delivery. Ed Barnard signals it's gone for 6. It smacked into the advertising. There isn't much of a gap between the rope and the advertising. Down in front of the marquee. Beddingham wanted to get hold of that one after not being tempted the ball before.
Yeah, he fancies his chances with 1 out there as opposed to 2.
2, yeah, pulled it round. Charlie Morris's first over comes to an end, 11 from it. 58 for 1.
So the end of the power play then for Durham. 58 scored off the first 6 overs for the loss of Graham Clark, caught by Brett D'Oliveira at point off Ben Dorchester for 13. Beddingham 38 from 22, Stokes 2 from 5. He's had a sedate start so far. We all know what he's capable of. Sodi could do with getting in on the act a little bit here over the last 3 games. He's not been at his best. A couple of wickets so far for him. You know what a talented performer he is. 58 for 1. Here he comes. His economy at the moment is just a touch over 9, is Sodi. About 7.9 is his career economy rate. Stokes doesn't get all of this, heaved, but finds long on. No wicket in his last 4 appearances for the New Zealand international. At the moment, Stokes will be quite happy just to let Beddingham do his thing here. 38 off 22. Might look for 2, and they do. Whiteley with the fielding in the deep. A bit of distance to travel to his right. Beddingham up to 40.
Sunny G on Twitter asks, what's a good total on this pitch? There you go, Dan.
Thanks, Sonny. Well, as you know, I'm an expert on reading cricket pitches and the ideal scores. Not a clue. Strong wrists again from Beddingham, and it should have been stopped, but it's gone away for 4. It's Ed Barnard down there. That's a shock as well for someone of his calibre.
Well, I think if Beddingham has anything like a Johnny Bairstow innings, then Yorkshire scored 216.
Well, he needs to,
on this wicket.
He needs to do his leg first, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, you can only bat like that if you've got one injured leg.
Well, they're confident about this, and he's gone. No need to wait for the umpire. Beddingham has just run it into the gloves of Ben Cox, who doesn't miss those. So a key breakthrough for the Rapids. They finally got the man who was doing the damage. David Beddingham has gone 44. And Sodhi has struck.
Great work from Sodhi and Cox behind the stumps. Well, we were just saying, if Beddingham continued the way he did, or the way he was going, but a big score is going to push Durham on quickly, but it's a key wicket to get. And as you said, Dan, as well, Sodhi really could do with a wicket.
Yeah, just needs a bit of pep up his confidence. That sounds strange to say for a cricketer who's achieved what he's done and what he's done for New Zealand, as well as of course won this competition with the Outlaws. But everyone needs a good start, particularly with his new club. 65 for 2, so we feel good about that, and so will the Rapids. Beddingham, who was threatening to run riot, has gone for 44. So 2 relatively new batsmen. Stokes has only been there for 7 deliveries, and now the captain, Cameron Bancroft, who's also been in good touch, comes to join him. Here's Daryl Mitchell.
And Daryl Mitchell into the attack. His first T20 match of 2021. Typical Mitchell. Doesn't let them take a run, does his own fielding. A run up that gets shorter every season. This one's gone. And gone for 6. Sailed over the head of Ricky Vessels. Stokes fancies a bit of the bowling of Daryl Mitchell.
Well, he's faced 7 balls, hasn't he, before he started to cut a bit loose. And there's his first 6. An effortless waft over long off.
I shouldn't think someone like Ben Stokes is going to feel particularly troubled, if we can put it politely, by the bowling of Daryl Mitchell. He has, over his career, 98 wickets in the competition.
Well, he's been effective, hasn't he, in this form of the game over the last few years.
Often very handy, very useful. Admittedly, pace has decreased, but there's been a number of games in the competition over the years where pace off has been exactly what you've needed. So, a very useful person to have in the side. Times, all rounder. Over the wicket now. 7 off the first 3. Full delivery. Using his experience. Hard to get that away. It's like one continuous motion, isn't it, when he does his own fielding? Because he runs in, bowls, does his own fielding, runs back to his mark. And the full ball, but slightly on the legs. See, that is first over. 8 from it. So, not a bad start. You'd take that in T20 cricket, wouldn't you, 8?
Yeah.
Against Stokes and Bancroft.
Steady will be good enough from Daryl Mitchell. May not get to his full 4, of course. Well, that's a decent start.
It's quite a selection of bowling the Rapids have got. Still haven't seen Barnard bowl either.
D'Oliveira as well, potentially.
D'Oliveira, yep.
73 for 2. 8 overs gone. A bit short, and an easy pull round for Bancroft. Just the single. Now then, the men out on the fence at long off and long on might be interested now with Stokes in. 2 men on the deep on the leg side as well. Nicely worked though by Sodhi, firing it into those toes. Well, Bancroft 155 runs so far, averaging 38. First T20 season with Durham. Nice little dab. Don't he just come through for 1 though. Ten 50s in his T20 career, the Australian. 65th match for him tonight in this form of the game. Bit short again from Sodhi, and unceremoniously clubbed away by Ben Stokes.
He's just been down to have a prod at the pitch again, hasn't he? Stokes doing it again.
Well, you got
Lots of
0
prodding.
margin for error with Stokes, haven't you? Just a bit short. 15 from 12 now. 80 for 2, Durham. 2 balls to go for his Sodhi. Can he find some kind of response? It's well fielded, decent parry. Daryl Mitchell having his hands warmed there. First game of the season, fielding in close to Ben Stokes. He must be thinking, crikey. Maybe a gentler introduction.
Yeah, that would have hurt. Or stung rather than hurt.
So end of the 9th over, nearly at the halfway stage now. 80 for 2. The men out, Clark for 13 and Beningham for an entertaining 44. Dorsius and Sodhi the wicket takers. If you want to get in touch with us, please do. It'd be good to hear from you. Hashtag Rapids on social media. Or if you haven't done so yet, you can follow us on the live stream, wccc.co.uk, or the club's official YouTube channel. Dan Wheeler and Sally Bentley-Reid with you.
Pennington wants his third man up. Bowling this time from the New Road end. See how he comes back. First 2 overs went for 22.
Yeah, he took a wicket with his first ball against Yorkshire, didn't he? 4 for 9 it was, his career best. 5th best bowling for the Worcestershire Rapids in their T20 history. And actually it's the best ever of those that have finished with 4 wickets in an innings.
Stokes dabbing that one down just to keep the strike rotating. Sodhi away down there doing the fielding. Yeah, it was sort of the one over, wasn't it, that after his first 2 went for no runs, and he had the one over that sort of ruined it, but he still came out with 4 for 24. Like you say, it's all the time of learning for him and improving that he's doing.
Had the England Test captain amongst his victims as well, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, getting the wicket of Joe Root. I know Alex Skidman has said that he's got a great attitude to his training and he is improving quickly, and you can see that over the last couple of seasons, I think. Desperate to, or keen to do well, as they all are, but loves to learn, be out there bowling to Cameron Bancroft, or on this one.
I think a better throw there from Lib. I don't think it would have made much difference. I think they were home, weren't they?
They were home, yeah. But
Bancroft was quick enough to get through, even though he clubbed it straight to him.
Tricky one for Pennington to take round the stumps.
Yeah, with Pennington 4 for 9, so the only people above him in the list for Worcestershire have obviously taken 5 wickets. Alex Hepburn with 5 for 24 is top of the list.
And Mitchell's got a 5, hasn't he?
Yeah, Darryl Mitchell's second, 5 for 28.
And Mo, is it the other one?
Yeah, Joe Leach 5 for
Joe
33
Leach
against
well,
Durham
yeah,
in 2016, and Moeen Ali 5 for 34 against Northamptonshire in 2013. So Hepburn against Notts in 2017, that was here. Mitchell at Wantage Road against Northamptonshire in 2014, and then Leach here against Durham, and Moeen at Northampton.
Stokes come down to meet that one. And time it clubs it away to Ricky Vessels, but just one. 7 from the over so far. Run rate just under 9. 1 ball to go for the halfway stage of the Durham innings. Pennington hits Bancroft, but rather half-hearted appeal from some of his teammates. And 87 for 2 after 10.
Yeah, so Pennington has 2 entries on that, the 4 for 9 and obviously the 4 for 24. Darryl Mitchell's got a 4-fer, George Rhodes has got a 4-fer, Saeed Ajmal, Moeen has got a 4-fer as well, Pat Brown 2, Wayne Parnell, Brett D'Oliveira, Shakib Al Hassan. And Ben Dorshus, of course, against Yorkshire here in the home game. 87 for 2. Halfway point. Here's Ed Barnard. Pace off the ball immediately. One wicket away, Ed Barnard, from 50 in his T20 career. Picks up 1 wicket against Yorkshire at Headingley. Heaved away, but only a single. D'Oliveira is quick, and it's a terrific throw too.
He's only bowled just over 9 overs in the 6 matches so far. Only bowled 1 in the first 3 games, didn't he? 1 in each.
Used sparingly.
Yes. Well, we say they've got a selection of
got options, haven't
bowlers.
They've got options, certainly. Nicely timed again from Bancroft, and more good work from D'Oliveira. Can't prevent them coming back for 2.
He's fast, isn't he, across the ground, D'Oliveira?
Well, it's good cricket all round, really. It's a very good shot, nicely timed, and very good work in the deep.
Jake Libby obviously didn't trust him because he ducked, standing at the backward point as the throw came in.
Oh, and the party tricks come out from Bancroft, and looks good when you hit it.
I was just going to say, when it works, it's great.
That would be the take home.
When it doesn't, you do look a bit daft. And you get in a bit of a tangle.
He's got to be careful because Dorshus is quite fine there. That fine leg. More orthodox this time from Cameron Bancroft, but it will only be 1. .91 for 2. One ball
Cox
coming up.
Breathing down your neck as well, aren't you? Standing up to the stumps.
That's gone high, should be out. Ben Dorshus takes the catch. Stokes has gone out for 20. And the Rapids nip another dangerous looking innings in the bud. First it was David Beningham, gone for 44, and now the big one, Ben Stokes, out for 20. Simple catch for Ben Dorshus at short third man, but it was in the air a long time, and he would have been aware who it was that he was about to catch. And Barnard has the wicket, and Dorshus safe hands. Stokes is on his way. Durham 91 for 3.
I was slightly worried then because I thought he took a step or 2 back, and you could see the ball had gone quite high, and it just didn't look like it was going to fall in the right place. You wanted to shout out, take a step in, take a pace in.
Well, I was with Ben Stokes actually, because the moment he hit it, Stokes looked over towards the ladies' pavilion and then immediately up in the sky, and I thought, oh, that's gone over there. So it took me a while to actually track where that had gone.
It's quite a tricky sky, I would imagine, for that at the moment, because it's completely clouded over, sort of white, light grey, light blue, isn't it? But because he had his arms quite a long way in front, it sort of...
You can tell him about his technique after this, Sam.
No, it's alright. Mitchell, another second over. Pushed out by Bancroft, and Barnard comes in a long way from the rope. So his over went for 4 around the wicket of Ben Stokes. A fine wicket to get when you said you haven't bowled that many overs in the competition and only taken the 1 wicket so far. So 2 now, and that's his 50th wicket, as Dan was saying, in T20. A fine one to get for your 50th wicket. You'd take that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there should be a bit more of a spring in the Rapids collective step, I'd imagine.
That one's Fox Sody though. Thought he'd got down to that one. In the cover region. Don't know whether he didn't quite get down quick enough to cut off the boundary.
Yeah, I mean, 1 or 2 holes in the Worcestershire ground fielding so far.
This one hit much harder. Directly to Morris. Down in front of the hotel. New Road Development stand. Bancroft goes back to hit that one. It's Mitchell, isn't it? Just trying to keep it tight. Rates 8.3, 98 for 3. 1 ball left of the 12th. One more flight. Gonna push for 2 though. Again, throw seemed quite wide from Barnard then. Mitchell reaching for it and it went past him. D'Oliveira backing up.
Yeah, it was a tough one to take for Mitchell, who'd got down obviously by the stumps, and yeah, a more accurate throw might have had the batsman in trouble. 100 is up though, 100 for 3, 12 overs gone, run rate just a touch over 8. That's acceptable.
9 from Mitchell's over, but you could argue that the one that went past Sody shouldn't really have gone for 4.
No.
On a good day for the Rapids. It could have been tight to run out as well.
Ed Barnard, 1 for 4 from his first over. I'll try and run this first one hard as well. Pressure on the fielder, back they come. And no alarms. Bancroft up to 12 from 14. Slower ball from Barnard, he's unlucky. That could have gone anywhere. Big inside edge.
I've got a bet we did it, I'll find it.
So they carry on roughly at this rate, Durham. They'll be up sort of round about 180, won't they? Well, 160, 170 maybe. 180 is a bit generous. Maybe they'll look around about 180 to try and finish, something like that.
He only lost 3 wickets so far, so...
I'm just trying to be a bit more helpful to Sonny G, who asked me what a decent total was. Still not sure I know, Sonny. I've got to be honest with you.
Strange game to then call if it's the same wicket as the Yorkshire where they scored over 200, 216, but Worcester rather collapsed.
I'm going to be brave and say anything over 200.
Play it safe.
That's your answer, Sonny. Anything over 200.
We won't know until both teams have batted on it.
Exactly. The right answer. Waited for this one, Bancroft, and we'll steer it out for a single to end the over. 107 for 3. Bancroft 15, just a touch under a runner ball. Dixon with him on 9 from 6 deliveries. 7 overs to go. Run rate is just hovering above 8.
Also, with the current restrictions, we're not allowed to go out onto the field or look at the wickets or anything. Not that that changes massively my my opinion on what's a good score, but I did just like to go and have a look.
Nose about.
Yeah.
Take your keys.
No.
No.
No, I definitely didn't do that. Charlie Morris, just the one over for 11 so far. Going to bowl the 14th over. Pushing for 2. Vessels is quick, but not quick enough.
Well, he's helped there, wasn't he, Bancroft, for the fact he didn't time it at
I
all.
was going to say, he didn't, just got an edge, really. Under edge on that, and wasn't clean. Slower ball, that one from Charlie Morris. Making Bancroft wait for the delivery. Looks slightly wider as well. We're on a bit of an angle here. Down at the foot, long off, just behind Ricky Vessels.
Oh, that's just good stuff from
ball,
Morris, isn't it?
isn't
It's
it?
good.
Again, someone else who's really learning the T20 game, I think. Sort of mixture of deliveries and not letting anyone settle, and it's a hard ball to hit away, isn't it? You get it in the right place and making run scoring difficult. Even getting single or pushing 2s. Stopping that single that time to Dorcius. Does the fielding going to come across and have a word with Charlie Morris?
Well, it's also worth reiterating, Sal. I mean, it's his 20th appearance, Charlie Morris, in this form of cricket since his debut nearly 10 years ago, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Went 3 years without playing at all between 16 and 19. So it does put into some kind of context the sort of late development and improvement in this form of the game for Morris. He's obviously had to work hard at his cricket generally to get back in the red ball side, had to work on his action.
Yeah, as you say, it's a long time ago, that debut, 2013, and this just to be your 20th game, it really isn't many in this form of cricket when you get 14, or most seasons recently you've had 14 group games. Reverse from Dixon, 1 or 2 bounces away for 4. Kennington chases after it.
I'm not quite sure what to make of that, Spread. That was absolutely extraordinary. That's something like the Tasmanian Devil might have played out of Bugs Bunny. Was he in Bugs Bunny? I don't know.
Bugs Bunny, no.
Cartoon.
Like
Wile E. Coyote, the Roadrunner.
Roadrunner one.
Yeah, it's close.
Where he always stopped at the edge of a cliff.
That's right, and then fell off. Yeah, that was...
It was always fine.
Incredible. Well, like cats, aren't they? Always land on their feet. 116 for 3.
I don't know, do they?
Apparently.
Alright. Don't test it out.
No, don't do that. It's all theory. Although I think they have tested it, haven't they? Which is how they know. 6 overs to go. 116 for 3. Sodhi replacing Ed Barnard. 2 overs, 1 for 14 so far. He's had a good night. Can he finish it off if he gets 2 more overs? Oh, beautifully put away. Lovely batting from Bancroft. He's been looking for that shot, trying something different. The ramp hasn't quite worked. That reverse sweep certainly did, right out of the middle. Up to 23 now from 22, 120. Durham looking to just push down on the gas pedal a bit here. Big 5 overs coming up after this one. Still got plenty of wickets in the bank as well. Well, that's cleverly done as well. Bit more air, got it finer. Won't go to the fence. We'll come back for 2. Run rate is edging towards 8.5, which is okay for the Rapids at the moment. I wonder what Dixon's going to produce following that whirling dervish effort in the last over. Beautifully bowled. Good stuff this from Sodhi. 1 ball left. Only 7 runs off it so far, plus these 2. And that'll do. 125 for 3. Dixon 16, Bancroft 26. 5 overs to go. 30 balls remaining. 125 for 3. Yeah, so 10 and over from here gets them 175, doesn't it? So yeah, they'll be eyeing up 180 certainly, I reckon, with 7 wickets still in hand. I know that 200 is also possible if they really get going.
Yeah, with those wickets in hand, plenty of players who can bat. Morris should get the wicket. He does. Caught again by Ben Dorshus. Taking the wicket of Cameron Bancroft.
Credit to Morris there. That was really clever. He's such a cerebral bowler. He really bowls with his brain. Perfect delivery for that situation. Pace off the ball in the slot. But Bancroft threw the shot too early. And you have to say, very good catch from Dorshus, because it wasn't easy. High to his left.
So just he had a little jump.
He did.
Just
He's
at
1 foot off
key
the ground.
moment.
He was going for the extra tariff there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
2 catches for him.
8.7.
At least. At least. 125 for 4. And of course, the best way to kill a team's momentum batting, of course, is to take wickets. And Morris strikes with his first ball of a new over. The Rapids, I guess, will be trying to hope they can get down under 150 here.
Lucky there for Bride and Calf. New man to the crease.
Well, obviously as few as they can get, but anything sort of 180 plus is going to be a tester, isn't it, for their what you would understand to be fragile confidence at the moment, bearing in mind the week they've had.
I think so. I think still take some, given us a wide. That delivery from Charlie Morris. Umpire's discussing the height. Still take some confidence, I think, from that. Just because they got close, almost frustratingly close, I suppose. Almost makes it worse, I would imagine, but obviously the knock from Vessels and Cox, those two come in with confidence. Vessels goes to field this one, keeps them to 1. Not the best throw though. Morris taking the pace off that delivery as well. I think it's a game of could have, should have.
Coulda, shoulda.
Full delivery again. Smart fielding by Dorshus, getting down well.
Goalkeeper Dorshus.
Yeah.
Tremendous work.
How tall is he? It's quite a long way down for him. Do you know?
I've no idea. I'd guess at 6'1".
Can't cut that one off though. Dixon connects to that beautifully. Hits away powerfully.
Yeah, just a bit too short, a bit wide.
Oh. Being told is 183 centimetres.
What does that mean in English?
6 foot exactly.
6 foot exactly. So I was an inch out. I'll take that.
I'd have gone taller than this.
Would
than
you?
the 6. I'd have been more with you. 6'1", 6'2". It's a stock answer, isn't it? If you're not sure, 6'1".
Is it?
Quite tall.
Oh.
I don't know. Big appeal from Morris, and he's got Dixon. LBW. Second wicket for Charlie Morris this evening.
And Morris again, that's why he's so valuable. He just has that knack, doesn't he?
He does.
Dixon out. 5 down now.
Just chipping away. 21 off 14.
Ed Eckersley is the new batsman. He's had a 50 in the competition so far, Ned Eckersley, in the second match against his old club Leicestershire. He comes to the wicket with 4 overs remaining to try and get Durham beyond 150 and some. Sodhi to finish his evening's work with the ball. Terrific effort so far from 1 for 23 from his 3. This is high and it's long. It's very, very long. All the way. Might even be over the Basil D'Oliveira stand. Another new ball, please.
I lost that in the sky. But it didn't come back down the sight screen, did it?
No, I didn't see it ricochet down. I'm pretty sure that's gone out the ground. Into the hedges, maybe rolling onto the King's School playing pitches.
He has hit a 50 this season already. 51 his highest score against Yorkshire.
Yeah, well, Cast can certainly give it the long handle. Very useful all-round cricketer, Bryden Cast. Was very good in the championship match here between these two sides.
There's a bowlers meeting.
Exactly 100 runs prior to tonight. Bryden Cass, average of 50, but he is helped by 3 not outs. Yeah, 1 half century, as you were saying, Sal, 51. And we have a new ball. Is this the 3rd ball? I don't think they found the one that
I think it was
Beningham
found
put
by,
into the ditch, did he?
by somebody
In the hedge, rather?
By somebody within the club.
Right, okay. 139 for 5. That sort of dab is always going to be okay for 2. Over 8.5 now, the run rate. But it's not got away from Worcestershire, that's the key thing. Bit short, and this is beautifully placed and magnificently hit by Bryden Cass. Ed Barnard, who was not too far away from it, and he is quick. No chance of cutting that off. You could tell by the sound that made on the bat. That was a tasty stroke. 145 for 5. Durham looking for a big finish here. 3 balls to go. Cox might be the favourite to get this. He is.
Injury? What injury?
I would have tested it out, wouldn't it, to be fair? I'll have to get a sign for next week.
A chatter. People receiving their drinks. As you do in the ground, you stay in your seat, order your food and drinks, and they get brought to you. Same with anything from the club shop.
Joe's just gone out with a big stick, hasn't he? I think we're okay. Yeah, our effects mic, if you're wondering, you're hearing quite a lot of chatter, is dangled over just into the seats in front of us, which should be unoccupied. Yeah, because you have your seat, your designated seat, and you don't move from it, supposedly. Picked up, might have found the man, he has! Brett D'Oliveira makes no mistake, and Cass perishes in the deep for 15, and Worcestershire strike again towards the end of the innings, retarding Durham's momentum once more. Exactly what they need. 147 6. And terrific return from Ish Sodhi. Talking that he would have been really desperate to weigh in with a good performance with the ball, and he certainly has done that. Picked up his 2nd wicket, 4 overs, 2 for 37. And Bryden Cass has picked out Brett D'Oliveira perfectly. That's what you were saying, isn't it? The chipping away with the wickets just slows that run rate down. So 125 for 3 has become 147 for 6. 3 overs to go. Dorsh's back for his third over. Eckersley cleverly dabbing it away. Rotate the strike. Anything under 170 here, Rapids would take, I think, wouldn't they? Yeah, I think like you said a little way out that, 175, 180. If they hadn't lost the wickets, I think they could have pushed up nearer the 200. So
Yeah, anything around that 175 I would have thought they'd be fairly pleased with. Ben Rain, the new batsman. Lucky as that one flies away for 4. Not where he was intending. Nothing any of the Worcestershire Rapids could do about that one.
You always got a chance, haven't you? The man's up on the edge of the circle, so if you do get a thick outside edge, the odds are in your favour.
Using the pace, isn't it? Just flies away.
Durham will take every slice of fortune they can here. 150 is up with that boundary. 152 for 6.
Fumbled by Sodhi. They would have got through for the single anyway. Rain made to reach for that one. .39 runs for him. T20 this year. Dorsh's over the wicket again. Maybe he can just cut that one off, keeping them to 2. Not quite fine enough for Sodhi to cut it off, but enough for Libby to get round from his position under that the lone chestnut tree now you mentioned before. Dorsh's moving the fielders round once Pennington finer at short third man, and D'Oliveira out on the boundary. Eckersley goes for a trick shot and did get a bit of bat on it.
Well, he's a bit unlucky there, isn't he, Dorsh's? And the batsman's got a bit fortunate, because he was looking to do something over his left shoulder. In the end, it's just come off the outside edge low down, and again Ben Cox no chance of cutting that off.
Couldn't do anything about that one. Dorsh is still moving the field round. Wants Whiteley square at boundary. Eckersley moving around again, trying it again.
Bowled
Nothing
again
at that time.
I mean, he sent a bit of a carrier pigeon, didn't he, ahead of that one? Ned Eckersley was going to do that, and Dorsh just outfoxed him.
Moved early.
Yeah, he did. 12 runs off that over, a dot ball to finish. It was good work from Dorsh's. 12 balls remaining, 2 overs remaining. Just under 9 runs and over now for Durham.
3 overs gone for 18. The 1 wicket for Dorsh's. That of Graham Clark for 13.
So just 2 overs to go. At the interval, we will be chatting to Kevin Sharp, Worcestershire's head of player and coach development. So stick around for that. Hashtag Rapids for your thoughts tonight as well on social media. Here's Morris then. 2 for 28 from his 3 overs, and that has gone a long way, and it's split the field perfectly, and it's cleared the rope too. A perfect start to this over from Charlie Morris as far as Durham are concerned. Nicely clubbed away by Ben Rain. forced a tweak in the Worcestershire field. Gave that plenty too. Didn't get all of it. More tweaks here for Ned Eckersley.
She's keeping it tight, isn't it now?
Cautious up into the edge of the circle at fine leg.
10 balls.
Short third man as well. Sodhi inside the circle. Slower ball up in the air. Who wants it? Well judged and very, very well taken. Worcestershire strike again. And a very well judged catch. Jake Lib grass. That was up in the air a long, long time. He might have had nightmares of colliding with Ricky Vessels out at long on at one stage as they both homed in on that steepler. But, Libby was the one who called for it and got it. 166 for 7. Morris strikes again. Eckersley gone for 8. Got to get a move on here potentially, Worcestershire. They shouldn't be in danger of missing the cut-off. They've only got what?
2 minutes.
Yeah, or less than that actually. It's about 70 seconds.
Got a hotline to the speaking clock.
I just happened to work it out, Sally. I'm as surprised as you are. I see Morris is running back to his mark. He knows.
I must see why Mitchell does it every time.
Still got one more ball to go, but they should be okay. 50 seconds, Charlie. In you come, son. Oh, it's flashed away. Will only be a single. There we go. End of the over. Worcestershire are going to sneak in under the radar here. That cut-off time. 1 over to go. Durham 168 for 7.
3 for 36 then this evening for Charlie Morris.
Great stuff. Very good indeed. These are career best figures in T20 cricket for Charlie Morris.
Did I say 36? I meant 37. I was ahead of behind with the scoreboard.
Great work from Cox there, just to keep them down to a single. Completely wrong-footed initially.
Five balls to go. Dorsh's gone for 18 so far. Keep this total down for Durham. I'm given a wide.
Yeah, just got to keep their heads a little bit here and their discipline. The Rapids see it out. They've fought back very well here.
That's when you say, isn't it, about just keeping it tight, keeping
Well, they've
the
never
focus,
they just
keeping the
haven't let Durham
concentration.
get away from them, have they? That's been the key.
Ben Rain moving round his stumps. He's got hold of that one. That's gone over Ross Whiteley's head, away for 6. Not by much though. Whiteley watching it all the way, keeping him interested. Kicks the ball back in from the boundary so he doesn't have to touch it, as the ball then gets sanitised by the umpire. That's why the players tend to kick the ball in at the moment when it comes back from the crowd. This one should be taken by Ricky Vessels though, and he gets there just in time. Dives down, difficult catch in the end. It takes the wicket of Ben Rain. That one, I think the pace taken off by Dorcas, and Ben Rain didn't quite get hold of it. Vessels had to come in a fair way from the rope in front of us, ending up on his ankles. The Rapids continue to chip away.
Held all their chances tonight, the Rapids in the field. Well judged again by Vessels.
Traskis goes to the...
Well, they've tried that shot a lot, haven't they? A number of the Durham batters.
It's not
And
really
I'm not
worked.
sure many of them have been successful.
2 balls to go. Run rate exactly 9 at the moment. Moving round in his crease again. Well bowled by Dorcas, and Cox just misses the run out.
Yeah, pace off the ball, bowling it into the pitch, forcing the mistimed attempt from Travaskis. Would have been run out, I think, by a mile if Cox had hit. Last ball.
Pops to face his first delivery. Push hard for 2. Decide not to take it on. Strong throw from Ross Whiteley on the boundary. Brings the Durham innings to a close, 178 for 8.
Yeah, I think the Rapids will be pretty happy with that. At no stage did they lose control of that game. And just when some of the Durham batters were threatening to cut loose, they got them out. David Beningham was looking very good for 44 off 26 deliveries, 6 4s and 2 6s, but Sodhi got him. Caught behind by Ben Cox. Ben Stokes again looking dangerous, but he was out for 20 from 20 deliveries, 1 4 and 1 6. Cameron Bancroft played some terrific shots, but just when he was looking threatening, Charlie Morris removed him for 26. Dixon for 21. Cast for 15. Rain for 19. All threatened to propel Durham up towards the 200 mark, but the Rapids were very good when they needed to be. Jake Libby, like he did at Headingley in the week, opened the bowling, but bowled just a 1 over, cost him 15 runs. But the pick of the bowlers, Charlie Morris, 3 for 37, career best T20 figures for him from his 4 overs, and very good work again from Ben Dorcas, 227 from his 4, and good to see Ish Sodhi as well, getting the reward for his terrific bowling as well tonight in the wickets column this time. 2 for 37 from his 4 overs, very similar figures to Charlie Morris. A wicket too for Ed Barnard, his 50th in this form of the game for the Rapids, 1 for 11 from 2 overs. They were the wicket takers for Worcestershire tonight. A couple of overs for Darryl Mitchell, none for 17. And Dylan Pennington, the hero with the ball up at Headingley. No wickets for him tonight. On and deep mid wicket. And he goes big, and the first 6 of the innings. In fact,
don't you, early on to give everyone a bit of a lift. And they get the wicket. Breakthrough there from Ben Dorshus, Smith and Clark for third.
To pose more of a test more often. And that swung high, that's gone all the way. Brilliant shot. Almost taken.
Down to long on in front of us. Another eyeball, but that's gone for 6. Bounce. Yeah, you can only bat like that if you've got one injured leg.
Well, they're confident about this, and he's gone. No need to wait for the umpire.
A runner that gets shorter every season. This one's gone.
That's gone high, should be out. Ben Dorshus takes the catch. Stokes has gone out for
in hand. Plenty of players who can bat. Morris should get the wicket. He does. Caught again by Ben Dorshus. 6'1". Quite tall, I don't know. Big appeal from Morris. And he got Dixon, LBW.
Evening's work with the ball. Terrific effort so far from 1 for 23 from his 3. This is high and it's long. It's very, very long. All the way.
Because you have your seat, your designated seat, and you don't move from it, supposedly.
Picked up, might have found the man. He has. Brett Lavera makes no mistake and can't.
Ben Rain, the new batsman. Lucky as that one flies away for 4. Not well handing.
Here's Morris then. 2 for 28 from his 3 overs, and that has gone a long way, and it's split the field perfectly. And it's cleared the rope too. Inside circle. Slower ball up in the air. Who wants it? Well judged. In the key.
Ben Rain moving round his stumps. He's got hold of that one. That's gone over Russ Whiteley's head. Only for 6. When it comes back from the crowd. This one should be taken by Ricky Vessels though. As he gets there just in time. Dives down. Difficult catch in the end.
Well, welcome back after the highlights of that Durham innings, 178 for 8, so Worcestershire Rapids will chase down 179 to win this game. While we wait for them to come out and begin their chase, we'll grab a word with Kevin Sharp, who is the head of player and coach development here at New Road. Thanks for your time, Kevin. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
What do you make of this total then? 179 to win. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's competitive. We're going to have to play well. Obviously, they've scored a few runs off the new ball, as any batting side would like to do, and then it looked as though pace off looked a bit more difficult. So, we want to win tonight, don't we? We've had a rough week.
Yeah, it's been. I mean, how bruised are the boys after those 2 away games?
Oh, look, they're a resilient bunch. The thing is about this group that they've played a lot of this format now. They've been in 2 finals days, most of these guys. They know, what happens in T20 cricket, and it's such a fine line. You could look a very good side one day, and you can look a very poor side the next day, and it's just that. It could be one stop in the field, it could be a catch, odd extra more than the opposition that can make a difference. And it's fair to say. I mean, look, I wasn't at Trent Bridge this week or at Headingley, but I did watch every ball on the live stream, and it's tough to watch when it's like that, isn't it? I mean, you get to Headingley, of course, my old stomping ground, and I see them at been 20 for 4, and I'm sat there just pouring myself a glass of wine and thinking yes. And and it was amazing, really, because it was almost an exact replica of what happened to us the night before, at Trent Bridge, and you're thinking, well, 120, 130 at the most, and then obviously they played 2 special innings there from those 2 lads. And perhaps we weren't at our best with our execution in deliveries, but you've got to take your hats off to those 2 lads who made those runs, because it was very special to watch.
And you know Jordan, don't you? So you surprised by what he produced?
No, well, I don't know him well, actually. He was only 14 when I left the club. He would have been playing under 14s, under 15 cricket, so I didn't know him that well. But he was obviously talented as a kid, so he's obviously this last couple of years he's come to the party, and he's obviously doing a great job for them. And
Johnny Bairstow, we saw what he could do down here at New Road, didn't he? I mean, on one leg, have you seen a better innings?
Well, Moen said afterwards that he thinks that cancel Worcester.
Well, we don't.
Well, I guess they'll let us know when we're on or not on, so we might as well keep going. Liam Travaskis is opening the bowling for Durham. Single here to Ricky Vessels. And we're on. So apologies if you lost coverage for a few moments there, but now sorted out. Rapids are starting their reply, needing 179 to win. Travaskis is opening up. Kevin Sharp, the Worcestershire head of player and coach development, is having a chat with us. So he talks about Johnny Bairstow, Kevin, about the players obviously you worked with in the past and some of the players you work with here now. Tell us about Jack Banson, because people are getting quite excited about him.
Yeah, obviously younger brother of Tom, from the Birmingham area, plays for Barn Green Cricket Club, done very well in club cricket, and is very talented and gifted young cricketer. You know, he bats well, he bowls well, he bowls some left arm spin, and you know, he's been playing as a trialist this season in second 11 cricket, and he's put in some very good performances. So, you know, the club have decided to reward that, especially with particularly all this one-day cricket now coming up. You know, we've got obviously there's the T20, but there's also the 50 over competition coming up. Yep. And you know, Jack's a very good one-day cricketer and offers, like I say, all skills, batting, bowling and fielding. And of course, when the 100 comes, we have a smaller squad, as in the fact that we've lost at least 4 players. We know that. Don't know if, you know, I believe there's another draft for 100, so you actually don't know if you're going to lose any more players. We might lose, you know, one or two more. So, you know, we don't have a massive squad. So, you know, if we lose 4 or 5 players, we're down to a squad of sort of 14, 15 for the 50 over comp. So Jacques will be a very useful acquisition to that.
So is he close to being chucked in then, do you think?
Well, I mean, he's done a very steady job in the second 11. The thing is now that what's tending to happen with the seconds is there's not much cricket for this week or 2, and also we've got a 4-day game coming up in 2 weeks, so he's in the squad here. So, you know, it can happen. Of course it can. I mean, I think depending on performance and that sort of thing, and injuries and all the things that can go with this, then who knows? It can happen. Things can change very quickly.
Sure.
Is he someone that you would like to see in this competition? If you say he's, you know, how exciting he is as a player, rather than just waiting for perhaps an injury, or, you know, would you like to just see him included in the team and see what he does at this level?
Well, it's always exciting, you know, when young players come into the fore and they're given opportunities. You know, the same with Jack Haynes when he came on the scene. Jack, you know, everybody wants to see a young player do well. But like I say, I mean, I think with us, although we've had a bad couple of games, we started this competition very well, and we've got a very experienced team. If you look at these players man for man, most of these have been to 2 finals there, so they're not easily replaced.
Well, also the 2 that haven't been to finals day with Worcestershire are international players, aren't they? So
yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I think it depends on a surface and that. You might think that Jack could bowl you 3 or 4 overs and it adds an extra spin option. You might go somewhere. We might go somewhere next week in Lancashire, where you think the surface is very dry, might spin, and you think, well, that's for the balance of the team, that's an option. So, you know, that's why you take a big squad with you. You know, you take your 13, 14 players away, and then you've got all options from a selection perspective.
Well, it sounds like an exciting prospect, and hopefully we might see him in Rapids action quite soon. One more here to D'Oliveira, nicely scampered through, 10 without loss. Rapids chasing 179 to win. You mentioned him in brief there, Kevin, Jack Haynes. I think everyone was excited just by how well he played in the red ball stuff, and such a shame for him to pick up that ankle injury. How is he at the moment, and might we see him back before the end of the season? I mean, it looked a bad injury at the start, but what's the latest on that? What can you tell us?
Well, don't want to be
Brilliant work. That's a tremendous catch.
I don't.
Ball quick
good catch.
with the grab, yeah.
One-handed catch.
Vessels has gone.
Well, I don't want to be saying anything that might upset the physio, of course. I don't want to be speaking out of turn.
No. Don't give us a date. That's fine.
No. Well, I think what I can safely say is that his progression is coming on very well.
Good.
And I think there was a concern early on after his injury that it could be more longer term this season. Well, I know he's working so hard with the physio and Ross Stewart, our S&C, and he kind of hoped that within a couple of weeks that he might be able to start making his way back. But like I said, don't quote me on it.
I won't quote you on it. Don't worry.
I'm not the medical man here.
Let's hope that he's going to be back. Certainly before the end
but
of the season.
I think I could safely say that he's not going to be out of the game as long as it may have looked in the early
first period.
in the first period. Yeah.
Almost a mix-up then between Jake Libby and Brett Oliver. They sort themselves out. 10 for 1. That is good news. Josh Baker's another one that's got you excited and people behind the scenes excited about what he can do. The slow left armour.
Yeah, well,
where is he at the moment?
Well, Josh only came on the academy at the end of last year. He's played youth cricket for Worcestershire. Brought him onto the academy. He's a tall left-arm spin bowler who makes it bounce. He spins the ball and he has fantastic control of line and length. And he's learning how to vary his pace. And for a lad of 18-year-old, I hadn't seen masses of him before this season, to be honest. And 12 months ago, he bowled perhaps a lot of balls at a similar pace, but he's learned very quickly how to read a batsman. And if the batsman's coming down the pitch, he seems to read it quickly and drop it in a bit shorter. So he's learned to do all those things very quickly, and he's bowled some incredible spells. I mean, there was a game at Barton Green the other day where we made 152, and Northants were 100 for 1 with 12 overs gone, so the game was pretty much over. And all of a sudden, from 100 for 1, they went to 105 for 5. And where the rest of the bowlers were going for 7, 8 and over, he bowled his 4 overs 3 for 7. And
fair enough.
It was fantastic to watch, in such control as well, and it's kind of really quite. What you don't want to do is, I've been around long enough to, you don't want to put people's on pedestals too early, because that's not fair on them. But
there is there is a need here, isn't there, for a frontline spinner? There's a gap there for him.
Well,
without wishing to put too much pressure on
the way this lad's developing, who knows what could happen in a short period of time. He looks to have a very good temperament. We didn't know how he might react if somebody got after him and scored a few runs off him. That happened in one game against Warwickshire. Didn't bowl badly, he just got whacked by some first class cricketers, and but he responded quite calmly and didn't seem to faze him really. And it can't do, can it, in T20 cricket, because it doesn't matter who you are. It could be Ben Stokes who's bowling now, who could go for a few with a bit of luck.
Well, it's possible.
Let's hope it's not Ben Stokes. He's not, and he goes for 50 or 4 overs. Be nice, wouldn't it? For
that wouldn't be bad.
But it happens in T20. I don't think it matters who you are. There's some point where somebody's going to. But he responded really well, and it's really nice to see that Worcester's. Obviously I grew up in Yorkshire, and Worcester's very similar to Yorkshire in the fact that really keen to bring on their own players. Yorkshire was all about the academy, and I came to Worcester here and initially under Steve Rhodes' guidance, and a real firm sort of push to bring on your own players. I mean, I recall, I think when we won the T20 final in 2018, I believe there were probably about 8 players in that team who've come through the
You've done all right,
yeah.
You've done all right.
And, you know, and it's not, I think we've been really good. Elliot Wilson runs a fantastic academy. And, you know, I think we've done pretty well in not just, you know, Worcester's not a massive catchment area, like Yorkshire was a massive catchment area, but smaller catchment area, but we've also been pretty good in recruitment. You know, somebody like Pat Brown coming from nowhere, comes from Lincolnshire, and that sort of thing. And, you know, that sort of recruitment. George Scrimshaw was one who actually, unfortunately, that's a massive hit.
That's all the way.
Nice to see.
Fabulous shot up into the hospitality boxes.
It's always nice to see one on the roof when we're batting, isn't it? Once a good one, Johnny Bairstow were batting the other day, and it kept disappearing into the Cripplegate Park over here.
It's very true.
I
D'Oliveira
think that 6 he hit the other night.
It must have gone into the courts, mustn't it?
I don't think I've seen one bigger here.
No.
Massive hit. In fact, one of the lads actually, it's quite ironic how it happened that one of the lads, when we were up on the balcony up there, said, has anybody ever hit one onto the top of the Graham Mick Pavilion? And then, would you believe, next ball Johnny Bairstow just did that.
How many have done that? Was it Steve Smith, the only one who's done it, maybe? Don't know. But yeah.
I think Andre Russell hit one over there.
It's a big one, wasn't it?
He's hit one. Seem to recall. He hit one over the offices here over the road into there. It's quite a good strike. I've always had a bit of fun when I've come to Worcester, because I sometimes tell some of the younger lads that the Yorkshire cricketer called Graham Stevenson hit the cathedral one year. and one or two have said, really? I said, yeah, he's timed it quite nicely. Not at the top, but, you know, just down the bottom of the cathedral.
Yeah.
Flat 6.
I said, he really timed it well. It was a good strike.
I bet he did. Yeah. Well, that's one for the grandkids, though, for Brett D'Oliveira, isn't it? Smacking Ben Stokes back over his head for 6.
You mentioned, we're talking about Josh Baker and being a spinner. How pleasing is that then to have potentially that option in the years to come, when you've had such a crop of fast bowlers to pick from? You know, you look out at the moment, there's a great selection for Worcestershire in the fast bowlers, but to have then the spin option.
Right, it's perfect. I mean, you know, academy it's an interesting one because it goes in sort of circles, really. You might have 2 or 3 come through together, and then you might have a patch where, you know,
up and down, isn't it?
So it's a bit, but, you know, you don't want, I mean, you can't cope with too many anyway. You know, you couldn't cope.
You've only got one, you've only got so much, haven't you?
That's right, but I think that, you know, I've really enjoyed just going back to what we were saying, is this academy situation where there's a real push to get your homegrown players through, and I absolutely adore that. I mean, I love that. You know, one of my favourite parts of coaching is what I call the cradle to the grave, which is like that 12-year-old walks through the door, you see him come in, and you see him develop, coming through into playing academy second team cricket, and then going out here and playing first team cricket. And from a coaching perspective, it's fantastic when that happens.
A brilliant shot from Libby this time.
Just picking up a little bit of momentum now. Long may it continue.
Touch short from Stokes again and climbed into.
Well, let's hope I was right about Ben Stokes. Let's hope he has an off night.
Let's hope he does.
How much of a turning point is this? It's the halfway stage of the competition. You've had, obviously, started well with the tie and the 2 wins.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's not quite gone to plan. So this stage in the competition, how much of a turning point will, say, tonight's result be, do you think, for the boys?
Well, I think the way the results have been going in competitions of late over the last few days, the teams have been beating each other, haven't they? One or two of the teams at the higher end of the table have lost to teams.
Northamptonshire.
And Derby's have won. So it's kind of quite open still. You know, I mean, it's still kind of quite open, and so. Yeah, I mean, we've got to win a couple of games, haven't we? If we can win these next 2 games, you're completely right in the mix. But you know, the lads are the one thing about this team is that even though you might have an off night, they are quite a resilient bunch, and they will fight right to the end, and I think that showed in the Notts game when we tied the game. Good, this is good.
Lovely stroke again from Libby. Great time.
You know, if you think that, you know, we make 150, there's 70 odd for none. After what was it, 7-8 overs?
6.2.
Yeah, right, okay. I was trying to play it down.
Sorry.
She counts, Kevin. She counts.
Don't miss a trick here.
Yeah, nice.
I was just trying to play it down a bit, but they were, you know, the game was won. They'd won it, hadn't they?
Yeah.
And then suddenly, but their style of cricket seems to be that they tend to keep going and look to finish it quickly. And of course, then we got both Clark and Hales out together. 2 new batsmen come in, and that can always be a danger sign for a batting team. But you know, we did everything right in the field. We didn't bowl any extras. We stopped everything. We caught everything. And just when you think a game's lost, suddenly you're kind of thinking, really? And it just reminded us a little bit of the semi-final in 2019. You know, where Notts had actually won the game, really.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, from nowhere, we clawed ourselves back into it. And
well, there'd been some strange games at Trent Bridge in the past few years, anyway, where people kept thinking, "Oh, it's Notts' game," and perhaps you know the totals weren't what you thought there anyway.
I think this is why people love T20 cricket so much, though, because you just never know what.
Yeah.
No, you don't know, do you?
You know, if you look at what's happened this week with us, and you look at that Yorkshire innings, and you think, "Ooh, you know, we've got them here." And then suddenly they make 192. And if somebody had told you that an hour earlier, that they'll get 192 from that position, you wouldn't have believed it, would you?
No.
You know, you wouldn't have believed it, but you just got to be. I think that's why it's so exciting. It's why people, you know, we've got a crowd in. That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, over 1,000 tonight.
Yeah.
Good to see.
Well, long may it continue.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's nice to see people in the ground. Actually, I've just been for a wander over there and chatted to 1 or 2 members, and it's great to see everybody back.
How
It's
much?
been a long time, hasn't it? Sure.
How much of a difference does that make to the players? Have they talked about it once the crowds were back in, and especially in this form of the game, perhaps more so compared to the county championship?
I think it's been harder for players in general in the T20 because you're used to that bigger crowds, and you're used to noise. And of course, we didn't have any of that last year, and now it's just evolving in the right direction a bit more. But I think probably championship cricket has been a bit easier because you generally don't. It's more sedate anyway.
Yeah.
It's less of a shock, isn't it?
You know, you don't get as many people.
Especially for the midweek days and things.
Yeah, so it's a bit more sedate. I mean, I think that also it's, you know, Worcestershire here is a bit more sedate with the crowd generally. I mean, your lads were saying last night at Headingley, you've got your West Bank, and there's a few lads there having a few beers, and you know, some of the stuff they were saying to our lads out in the outfield. And I suppose in a way, you know, if you've not been used to that for 12 months, it becomes a bit of a shock when somebody starts abusing you again.
Well, it's a good start so far, isn't it? 41 for 1. Coming to the end of the power play.
Yeah, I think scores will be quite similar, would they be? Would think about 50? Was about 50 in power play?
58.
You got the answer to it.
No, not everything. I wish.
Yeah.
We didn't have the answer to what's a good total on this wicket.
No.
We were a bit stumped by that one.
Well, I think, like you say, I think that their score is competitive, but we do have the batting lineup to be able to get these runs.
Absolutely. At the moment, it's only 1 wicket down. Kevin, thanks so much for your time. Really good chat.
Yeah, I
and
think
talk to you again, no doubt.
Yeah, just to finish on, I think that the key with this is not losing wickets. You know, it always slows it down a little bit. Did they finish 8 or 9 down? You've got the answer to this again.
It was 8 down.
8 down. So, but when you keep picking up the wicket, it just helps you gain, you know, just gain that little bit of momentum in the game. And I think if we can get through 10 overs here without losing any wickets, we should be in a very good position. Thank you for having me on.
That's a pleasure. I knew it was 8 as well. I didn't know the answer.
Made me look to check.
We know where to go.
But they were chipping away, as you say. That's where the wickets fall. No big partnerships.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, that's
other than
Is it? Hopefully.
Just short. Is it? Or has it gone all the way? The crowd seem to think it's gone all the way. We can't tell from our angle. Yeah, there it is. 6 with Oliveira. Nowhere where he intended it, but he won't care. And neither with the 1,000 or so in here tonight. 50 is up as well for the Rapids in this pursuit of 179 to win. Great stuff, Kevin. No doubt. We'll talk to you again at some stage. That's Kevin Sharp, Worcestershire's head of player and coach development. 52 for 1. D'Oliveira looking to get this reply off to a flying start. He's more than played his part. Another sharp single there. He's up to 26 from just 19 deliveries. 1 ball left of the power play. Another be 4. Just cleared his front leg out of the road a little there, Jake Libby. And found the gap, and Worcestershire end the power play with a boundary. 57 for 1. Libby into the 20s now. He has 22. And his chirpy season continues in the 2020. Best so far of 52 in that first game. He went through 800 career T20 runs in the defeat up at Headingley against Yorkshire. Terrific last year, of course, as well. Over 300 runs. His first season at the club. He's continued that form in red ball cricket, and he's becoming an ever important member of the Rapids T20 side too. 57 for 1. He's got 22. D'Oliveira 26.
Some fantastic hitting there, wasn't there, from Jake Libby down the ground. Decide to just take the single. Scott Borthwick bowling his first over.
Yeah, they ran the first quick, didn't they, to try and give themselves the best chance of coming back, but Borthwick too close for them. Well, this is good from D'Oliveira. 27 he has now. Return to form from him. 0, 0 and 2 in his last 3 innings prior to tonight.
Bit unlucky up at Headingley though, wasn't he? With the run out. Deflected by Joe Root after a lovely straight shot by Ricky Vessels. The downside of that was that Joe Root was able to get his fingers on it, deflect it onto the stumps. D'Oliveira beats the man on the circle this time. Stokes comes around to do the fielding.
Yeah, he got that 61 as well, didn't he, against Lancashire in that terrific victory. The Rapids' last victory to date. His 6th T20 half century. Only 4 players ahead of him in that particular standing. A number of 50s for the club in this form of the game. Darryl Mitchell, Vikram Solanki, Graham Hick and Moeen. The only players that have got more half centuries in T20 cricket than Brett D'Oliveira. 63 for 1 at the end of that over. 7 overs gone. They're right on the money. In fact, yeah, they are exactly. Almost exactly. They're going on at 9 and over, and they need 8.9 and over. Still 116 to win. but only 1 wicket down, crucially. Ben Rain coming back into the attack.
We've swapped ends, haven't we?
Have we?
Yeah, because I just chatted more during the Borthwick over.
Oh, okay. Is it your end or my end?
Wow.
Should it be me or you? I don't mind.
It doesn't. You can feel free to discuss.
And no one's got that shot quite right, have they?
Not this evening, no. It just hasn't worked. But he's hit some super shots already this evening.
Libby, yeah, 24 off
I don't know.
16.
Maybe stick with those.
Not a bad shout, 4 boundaries. He's not going to get anywhere near that. It's a no ball as well. Free hit time. It's got a bit dark here.
I was just about to say that it's got a little bit darker. I was after Libby. This is the party shot. Just wondered whether struggling to pick it up a bit more.
That might go all the way. Stokes is not going to catch it. Almost like a forehand topspin drive from Jake Libby. You'd know about that, wouldn't you, Sal?
I would actually. Yeah. I did miss the game on Wednesday because I was playing tennis. So I had to watch it when I got home.
Did you win?
It's just match practice.
Oh.
Match practice.
So did you win?
Mixed. Played three sets. It was mixed. We won the match on Saturday though.
Right.
But I don't have one tomorrow. I have one next Saturday. Got to traipse over to Shipston. There you go.
All the best.
Thank you.
30 apiece for D'Oliveira and Libby. The chase is going very well so far. 108 more needed. 71 for 1. More runs here. Just a single though. Out to Borthwick. Here comes the trolley. I've missed the trolley.
It's always good when they do the emptying of the bottles as well. You get the bottle bin emptied. The additional sounds of New Road.
That's nicely timed. Not quite perfectly between the two fielders, but they'll come back for a couple. End of the over. 74 for 1. (11) off Rain's first over.
Almost exactly the same as Durham. They were 73 for 2 after 8. It's definitely, as you say, got darker though.
And colder. Jacket's got to go on.
Darker and colder. The scoreboard is looking brighter. Borthwick's going to have a second. Libby uses his feet, keeps the strike rotating. Cast with the fielding. Steps in from the boundary in front of the ladies' pavilion. No one in there this evening. Driven powerfully by D'Oliveira. Will just be cut off though. So well hit, and he gets a single for that. Hit very hard down the ground though. Don't want to say too much, but they seem to be connecting well with it, these two.
Are you tempting fate?
No,
are you asking fate?
No, no.
Are you asking
no,
fate round for dinner? Are you?
I stopped just short. Libby working on the leg side this time, needs to be very quick. Fantastic running. Even thought about looked up to see if he could get a third as it went flying past the stumps. Scott Borthwick couldn't get hold of it. Bancroft tidied up. Borthwick quick across the ground there to do his own fielding. Means he can get a run. Duckworth Lewis is 66 at the moment, so Worcestershire 12 ahead. 2 balls left in the 9th over.
We've done well to avoid the rain because it was really swirling in this neck of the woods. Looked very threatening at the time, but we've done all right.
I think looking round, there must be some rain locally, I would have thought.
Yeah, there's a massive splodge over Kidderminster at the moment, that sort of way.
Rain.
Yeah.
So, 100 more needed. Exactly. This one in the air, but it's fallen just short. Libby, D'Oliveira rather, just getting away with that one.
Well, it's hard to tell from our angle, isn't it? But I wonder whether the jeers of some of the crowd might have suggested that may have carried. I don't know. Didn't look like it, did it? From
no,
here?
I don't think it did carry, but I wonder whether it could have, if that makes sense. You know, perhaps with another pace and a bit of a dive.
If it was Ross Whiteley, might have been a
Superman through the air.
Bryden Cass is back on, replacing Ben Rain. 81 for 1, 71 this pair have put on since the loss of Ricky Vessels. D'Oliveira 35, Libby also 35. What can Cass do here? And again, we've seen a batter fail to execute the little ramp shot. I think it's time to retire that one tonight, isn't it, everybody?
It hasn't worked for anyone. It's going to end in a wicket or a hit in the face or something, isn't it? It's not going to end well.
Slightly behind the rate, the Rapids now. Clubbed away, and that'll go for 4. Good effort by Rain on the edge of the circle. But hit hard enough and straight enough from Libby. 39 he now has, 85 for 1. Target is under 100 now, 94 needed. Well ahead of Duckworth Lewis as well. That's a quicker ball from Cass. That's what he's got, Bryden Cass. He's got a quick change up. He can bowl seriously quick if he wants to. Just letting Libby know he's here. bang on the money at the moment, going along at 9s, and they need 9s from here on in, and they have plenty of wickets in hand. 9. Bit of symmetry to that. They want 2, but they might have to settle for 1. No, they come back. That's good running again.
Comfortably back in the end. Dolliver almost jogging back.
Yeah, a little clap of acknowledgement to his batting partner there.
Carter's got, I heard the sort of Durham people, I think Steve Armisen talking about it, that he's got that pace and aggression. Really hit the pitch hard.
He's got the slightly slower ball, which we saw there, and they are through sharpish.
Should mention that we'll be back here on Sunday for the game against the Leicestershire Foxes, where the team will be wearing limited edition match shirts, which will be auctioned for St Richard's Hospice. If you go to the Worcestershire Club website, /auction is where you can find out more. Start the bidding from today for your favourite player's shirt, or for St Richard's Hospice.
You've physically got no room left.
I can't get any more shirts. No. I do have a little collection.
Halfway then in this innings, and yeah, about halfway to their total, so they're bang on track here. The Rapids sitting pretty, 9 wickets in the hutch as well.
Borthwick into his 3rd over. Deceives Libby. Did he get any bat on that? It runs away for 4.
We'll soon see what's the umpire going to give. Buys.
It's hard to tell from the way Libby was trying to play it. Well, it's what Kevin Sharp said when we were speaking to him, wasn't it? It's the wickets, isn't it, that slows down T20, breaking those partnerships, and Worcestershire did that well. 2nd wicket at 65, and then chipped away gradually, taking the 8 wickets. Libby goes for a big pull.
Could have gone anywhere again, very easily down onto his stumps.
Anguish from a few of the Durham players. Yeah, for a moment. Safe. Just keep it ticking over now, these two. Moved on to 37 and 43. D'Oliveira and Libby. D'Oliveira comes down to meet that magnificent shot down the ground. 1 bounce and over the rope for 4. Beautifully struck. Takes the Rapids up to 99.
He's shifting through the gears nicely here, D'Oliveira.
This one not quite so elegant. Clubbed away towards long on, but brings up the 100 for the Rapids after 11 overs. 11 more coming from that over.
100 off 66. I only need 79 to win. 9 overs remaining, 9 wickets left. Travaskis is going to switch ends. Two overs for 8. He's been miserly, the slow left armour. Durham needs some wickets here. Yeah, they know they'll be going so that they can restrict the Rapids here without making some serious inroads. Wickets for them, of course, the most effective handbrake. Given nothing away so far, Travaskis. Content to work it at the moment, that's all they can do. Oliveira needs a new weapon here, I think. I don't think he's got one handy, has he?
No,
Yeah,
they've just
someone's disappeared into
disappeared to the dressing room.
to get a new bat for him. Or run one down. Here come a couple. Always nice to have a choice. There we go. Which one do you want? That one? That feels good. I'll have that. Right, get back out there.
I don't think there was much wrong with the one he swapped.
Yeah.
Put away.
Got to 43 off 31 without any alarm. And test out the middle of the new one straight away. It's well juggled by Bryden Cass, but they are back for a couple.
It's what these two do very well, isn't it? The singles, the quick twos, as well as punishing the bad balls. I mean, they've hit 9 fours between them. 2 sixes from D'Oliveira.
Well, when he was bowling as tight as Liam Travaskis, he's not giving them much to hit. You just got to try and obviously work the ball into the gaps as much as you can, and at least try and pick up 6 singles if possible, if you're not going to get a 4 ball or something to try and manufacture to the boundary. 106 for 1, 73 needed. D'Oliveira 46, Libby 45. Durham's go-to man has ball in hand.
He does. First over went for 16 though. Moving his field around a little bit. Libby on 45. Backs away. I was just looking over to see who was going to be coming in next, possibly. Cox is sitting there with his helmet on. Mitchell in the team this evening for his first T20 match. Libby backs away again. Pulls this round. Takes a single. Tighter from Stokes so far. Full ball. Toes of D'Oliveira, but manages to work it out. For a single as Cameron Bancroft does the fielding. Time for another layer.
Oh, that's not for you. Worked this out, haven't you? You've gone to another layer. I haven't got anywhere to go.
Layers.
You're 8 minutes to 8. The evening is closing in. So
Libby again tries to give himself a bit of room, but as I say, taking the pace off that one. On this lovely, warm June evening, late June,
balmy.
summer's evening.
It's balmy, isn't it? It's balmy to be sitting outside. Pretty dark too.
This one hit high. Has he got all of it? I think he has from the crowd, and it's signalled 6. Libby goes to 50, taking 6 runs off the bowling of Ben Stokes. Away, high over, wide-ish long on. Fantastic batting from him so far this evening. 52 of 39 balls. 6 4s and 1 6.
Second half century of the season, his 5th in his T20 career.
Eckersley can't stop that one.
With a bit of glove in that as well, I think, to finish.
Yeah. 4 more to the Worcestershire total, though. Couldn't quite see the umpire then, because Libby and D'Oliveira decided to have a chat in the middle, right in front of the umpire.
2 overs for 28 for Ben Stokes. He's got 2 left, 118 for 1, 61 now needed only for the Rapids. 9 wickets in hand, 7 overs to go. They're ahead of the rate, but only just, going along at 9.1. They need 8.7. D'Oliveira on 47. Travaskis to continue his last over. Nothing through here though. .108 these two have put on. Came together at 10 for 1.
It's getting dark though, isn't it?
The scoreboard is very bright.
Just the light fading though.
Thick outside edge, but it's going to bring in 4. Beaten in the flight there by Liam Travaskis, but it's running Jake Libby's way. He moves up to 60. Well, they've got some way to go to break the record set a couple of years ago in that brilliant game down at Hove. 177 Ricky Vessels and Moeen Ali put on for the second wicket, so they're 113 at the moment, these two. So they're not going to beat that tonight. Oh, and it's very nearly a brilliant caught and bowled. Would have been special. It was to his good hand. Goes down as a chance, I guess. Last ball of Liam Travaskis tonight. And that's still a terrific return for the left arm spinner. Four overs, none for 22 from his 4. Great stuff from him. But at the moment it's looking like in a losing cause here for Durham. 53 more needed for the Rapids. 36 balls remaining. 62 to Libby. D'Oliveira 1 away from a half century. 126 for 1. Here's Cast.
Libby lucky again. Ball off the edge to Eckersley.
If it hit, that might have been interesting.
Shy at the stumps as well.
He might have been struggling there, Libby, if that had hit. Doesn't matter because it missed. As you know, despite this terrific position, the pressure is on.
Nine wickets in hand, at least in their favour. D'Oliveira whips it away. Bring up his half century this evening. 50 for him. Warm applause from the crowd in at New Road. 38 balls to get him there. 3 4s, 2 6s this evening. The job isn't done yet for him.
Yeah, a terrific hand he's played. Very good stuff.
Lovely shot by Libby down the ground. It's not quite going to reach the rope. Fielded down there. I can't even read the number. I know Stokes has gone to help out. Two more to Libby anyway. Libby again moving round slightly in the crease, shuffling around. Wants to come back for 2, but sent back by D'Oliveira. Wise decision, I think, although there was a slight fumble.
Yeah, he fancied it pretty much from the moment it left his bat, Libby, to try and push for 2, because the field is obviously set deep over there.
There's Potts down there.
But you're right, I think the right decision there. Even though they do have 9 wickets in hand, a new man comes in, the light is poor, it's going to be difficult for them to tee off straight away, which is what the Rapids need to do. They can't hang about here because the balls are slipping away.
Hit hard by D'Oliveira, but straight into Cameron Bancroft.
And a good over here from Durham suddenly tilts the pressure back onto the home side.
So they've got the wickets in hand, but it would be tricky to come out now, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Time is not their friend at the moment, Rapids. Still in obviously a very good position, but still 48 needed.
Someone climbed on D'Oliveira and he tries to get on top of it. They can only take a single. End of Cass's 3rd over.
132 for 1, 122 these two have put on for the 2nd wicket. It's the 7th T20 half century for Brett D'Oliveira, now moves him level in the rankings with Daryl Mitchell for the most number of 50s for Worcestershire in this form of the game. Only Vikram Solanki with 10, Graham Hick with 12 and Moeen Ali with 16 have done it more often. 47 to win. 30 balls remain. Borthwick, and that's brilliantly placed. Just what the Rapids need, just to stop the pressure getting a little bit uncomfortable. smashed with those quick wrists as well, D'Oliveira. Extra revs on the ball as it sped to the cover boundary. It's only his 4th 4 to go with 2 6s. Drag short, help round, he's found the gap again. 4 more. Not a great delivery from Scott Borthwick. Too short, and D'Oliveira in this form is not going to miss those. Perfect start to this over from the Rapids. Successive boundaries. The target is now under 40. 140 for 1, 39 to win. 8 from the first 2 balls. Well, because of that start, they can afford just to see out a couple here. Nice reply from Borthwick. 59 to D'Oliveira, 66 to Libby. Out comes the sweep, looking for that spot again. It's a little bit squarer this time.
Just 4 short now, his highest T20 total. 64.
He's picked out Travaskis, so just a single. Single to end. 142, 143 for 1. D'Oliveira 61, Libby 67. Borthwick has finished 4 overs, none for 31. So good return from him. Gone for under 8 and over. Stokes has gone for 14 and over so far. 2 overs for 28. He'll probably bowl 2 of the last 4. It's a 4th wide he sent down as well.
Well, Kevin Sharp said he didn't want him to have a good night.
Well, he's not so far. Well, he hasn't had a bad night, has he?
No, 20 with the bat. But not the best bowling figures so far. Followed up with another wide, and much to the amusement of the crowd, really.
Yeah, that was very wide.
34 needed now, of 4 overs. So 34 off 24.
I mean, they're not even close. He's down the leg side. I mean, they're miles down the leg side.
D'Oliveira with a single from that one. I don't think we're the only ones finding it a little bit chilly. A number of the Worcestershire players and coaching staff are all sort of jogging on the spot and moving around, rubbing their arms.
There's a fire, I can see.
Just popped the bat that Brett didn't want on it. Libby trying to pivot and pull this one round. Didn't get anything on that. Stokes on his long walk back, top of his mark. Libby again backs away slightly and flicks it round, fumbled down there, and they get back for the second by Liam Travaskis.
Yeah, I think that has probably cost them that run, because I think if he'd picked that up cleanly and got it in, I'm not sure they would have come back for 2. (31 off 21). That's the equation.
That one hit hard by Libby, but not cleanly.
Five away from equalling his career best, Jake Libby. 6 to set a new mark, obviously. 149 for 1. 30 to win.
Could be a record-breaking evening for both of them out there at the moment. Oliveira just gets it over the top of the field, is on the ring and away for 4. Just to the side of the Graham Hick Pavilion. That takes him to his best ever T20 score. Ahead by 2, 64 against Notts previously. It's been his best total.
Slower ball from Stokes, but again it's those fast hands from D'Oliveira. Waited for it, and then that top edge enough to get it away for 4.
Well, Stokes not perhaps having the best evening, certainly now, as he bowls a 3rd wide of this over. Trying to get it in at D'Oliveira and stop him scoring, and it's not working. Missing his line. One ball to go, and D'Oliveira will end with a single from that one.
11 off the over. That'll do nicely as far as the Rapids are concerned. 25 off 3. This partnership worth 145.
Stokes is 3 overs. Gone for 40, is it?
Yeah. Was it a leg by on that last one?
Is it?
If so, he'll stay at 39.
Yeah.
6 wides though in his spell tonight. Matty Potts helped on its way, might be out, and is. And Brett D'Oliveira's lovely innings has come to an end, but he's more than played his part at propelling the Worcestershire Rapids towards victory here tonight. He's out for 67, and his stand of 145 for the second wicket with Jake Libby has put the Rapids in with a great chance of closing out victory. Disappointed. He wanted to stay there right to the very end, and he's picked out the man perfectly at deep square leg. Ben Cox, the captain, is the new man. It will be tough for him to look to get on with it, which he needs to do in these conditions. I suppose what he'll do is try and get off the mark as soon as he can and just give everything to Jake Libby. That will be the key, whose eyes will be adjusted fully, seeing it obviously very well. 70 from 50, he's played beautifully tonight. So Cox just needs to get down the other end. 24 still needed. Here comes Potts. And that'll do for Cox. And nothing silly here.
He pops his second wicket this evening, takes him to 11 in the competition so far.
Bryden Cast with the catch to get rid of Brett D'Oliveira, incidentally. But a new career best for Brett D'Oliveira in T20 cricket. 7th half century. Gives himself room, and he's played it splendidly into the gap. Terrific shot from Jake Libby. Excellent use of the crease. Just giving himself a bit of room outside leg stump, opening up the angle. Clever batting. 160 for 2. The total now needed under 20. 19. Still 3 balls to go in the 18th over. Full toss has got away with that a little bit. It'll just be a single down to Travaskis. Bit of a wild throw from the fumble, but gathered by Eckersley. Now that Stokes over, and the start of this has just taken the pressure off. Going along at 9 and over. They only need 7.7. 18 to go. Another full toss. Might push for 2 here. Travaskis is quick across the ground. They're coming back, and they're going to make it.
Not a great throw again, was it, from Travaskis?
No.
I mean, they were home.
Wayward.
Libby was back at the non-striker's end, but
16 to go. 163 for 2. Slower. Well watched by Cox. All they need to do. End of the over. Cox takes the bowling. 12 balls remain. 15 needed. 164 for 2. In this form of the game, that sounds like a simple equation, really. To go off 2 overs. Surely they can't let this one slip by. No, I'm keeping the door closed to fate. Go away. I'm not interested. No one's home.
Lock it.
Clear off.
Padlock it. Bolt it.
On your bike. Go on. (15 off 12 balls).
Ben Rain, his second over. Cox set off quickly, and I'll come back for 2. Fumbled in the outfield, in the field by Dixon.
Well, that's the pressure, isn't it? They're going to run hard, and they put the pressure back on the fielders, and Durham know they can't afford any slips here. That slight misfield turns what might have been a tight 2 into an easy one.
(13 from 11). Cox comes down to meet that one, but didn't get anything on that at all. On through for a leg bite.
Oh, well, he's tummied that out to cover, hasn't he?
The underused.
The underused stroke. Yet effective at the drop and run tactic. 12
It depends how squidgy or firm your stomach is as to how easy it is to take the single.
If that hit mine, it wouldn't go very far.
You just wouldn't want to be hit by the cricket ball.
That's true.
Oh, thankfully it's not cast bowling.
12 needed.
Libby in the air, but safe. Another fumble. Wants to come back for a second, but I think that one could have been tight. They are quick, but don't want new man in if possible. 11 from 9.
Three balls to go, 11 to win. They'd like it in single figures, wouldn't they? The last over.
Last over, get there with as many balls to spare. Or going into that last over.
Well, they are fairly sure that he feathered that, but no.
Umpire signalling it came off his forearm. Or he's as cold as we are.
Yeah.
You're just.
I'm sure that's true. I'm not sure anyone can be.
Well, I don't think Ben Cox is going to make his way back to the dugout.
It's raining as well.
Oh, it is. Fine. It'll just be the single. Borthwick fields cleanly.
So the weather turning against Durham as well late in the piece here.
Duckworth Lewis at the moment is 165, Rapids on 169, but that'll change after the next ball. And obviously there's only one over to go anyway. 10 off 7. Some umbrellas have gone up. I did think it was getting darker and darker away to our right. Surprised if it wasn't raining. Cox backed away, or Libby rather.
He's done well to see that, to be fair, hasn't he?
He has. It is dark out there now for the players. Thankfully, Libby should be fairly well adjusted. Being out there since the fall of Ricky Vessels, when the score was just 10. Put on 145 with Brett D'Oliveira. For D'Oliveira went for 67th. New T20 highest score for him, beating his previous best by 3. And a T20 best for Libby, who's on 77, beating his previous best of 75 not out.
Here we go then, Matty Potts with the last over of the match. Worcestershire Rapids need 9 to win. The rain is starting to team down here. It's getting heavier by the moment. 170 for 2. Libby 77. Cox 7. Scoreboard absolutely beaming out. Won't get a. Oh, they will get a run here. 8 to win. Off 5. Of course, they'll run everything now, even though that was straight at Cameron Bancroft. 8 off 5. Cox on strike. And he's got it away. That might be all the way. It is. How many batters have tried the ramp shot tonight and not made any contact, and then right when it matters most, Ben Cox gets it out the middle of the bat.
In the dark and the rain.
In the dark and the rain. Fabulous.
Oh, fantastic shot.
What a time to pull that out. 177 for 2, and suddenly what might have been a tense situation has now turned right around. 2 to win off 4 deliveries. It's not over till it's over, but Ben Cox may just have landed a knockout blow here.
I mean, they needed a boundary, didn't they? They needed something.
Just to take the pressure off.
Special there, and that was the magic to do it. Magic shot from Cox. As you say, that's tried numerous times this evening by the batsman.
61 not out against Yorkshire, his highest T20 score. He's only got 13 so far, but what a 13 it's been. 2 to win. There it is! To the fence it goes! Ben Cox punches the air in delight, and he sees the Worcestershire Rapids home to a much needed morale boosting victory after their horror experiences on the road this week up at Trent Bridge and Headingley. They were desperate for a win tonight against informed Durham, and they've done just that. A terrific all-round performance, restricting Durham to 178 in their innings, and they paced their reply beautifully. The loss of Ricky Vessels earlier on for 2 didn't destabilise them. Brett Oliveira and Jake Libby, a stand of 145 for the second wicket. Libby making a career best score, 78 not out at the end. Brett Oliveira also a PB, he made 67, and Ben Cox, what a performance from the captain. It's only 13, but it came off 8 balls and included that one precious 6 off the umpteenth ramp shot we've seen attempted by either a Durham batter or a Worcestershire batter tonight, and finally one has come off, and it's the Rapid skipper that's done it and won the game for his team. Worcestershire finishing 181 for 2. They've beaten Durham by 8 wickets.
Fantastic performance by the Rapids this evening.